This video is going to show you how to put pictures into the word quiz question template so that you can have pictures or diagrams in your quiz. These are the three strategies we're going to use to make this process as easy as possible. First is to make the pictures the size that they need to be for the quiz. Don't depend on the pictures already being the correct size. Next is to work with a separate Word doc. Open when you're working on the template. And last, when you're checking and saving for export, be patient. It's going to take a little longer. The size of the picture in your final quiz in Moodle is not dependent on what size you drag it or stretch it to in your Word doc. It is dependent on the size of the file that it was originally saved in, the JPEG or the PNG file. You have to go in and use something like Microsoft Office Picture Manager for a PC or iPhoto for a Mac to change those dimensions so that you can make it fit in your quiz the way you want. It's best to keep it in a separate folder so that you can find it easily. Now, one of the biggest problems with putting in pictures is that we don't have a good feel for the size of the pictures. Over here on the left, I have just a Word document that I copied some pictures out of a file that I have over here, which is actually from wpclipart.com, which has public domain pictures that can be used anywhere. As you can see, some of them are pretty large, like this one down here that takes up almost a whole page. Or some of them are really relatively small, like this green check mark, which might be just about the right size for a quiz, or it might still be a little small. It's deceiving because when we go and drag the corners and adjust the size in our Word document, it looks like it's smaller. I'm going to use Control Z to put it back to the same size it was. The problem is however big this is here, when it gets to the quiz, that's how big it's going to be. It's not going to be the size that we drug it to. It's going to be the original size. So in order to do something with that, we're going to have to make these pictures smaller. Now, in a PC, you can use a program that's called Microsoft Office Picture Manager. And it really is a nice little program. The problem is I don't want to change my pictures over here because I might want to use them somewhere else. And this program, when you change things, is always wanting you to change the original file. So what I'm going to do is put them here on this Word document, and then I'm going to go into my pictures file, and I'm going to create a new folder. So I'm going to go up here to the top and go to New Folder, and I'm going to call it Quiz Pictures. Okay. And when I save these, I'm going to save them into that file. Now, all I have to do is I'm going to go over here to the question mark, right click on it, save picture as, and go down and pick up that quiz pictures file. And I'm going to have to give it a name and save it. Now I'm going to do that with all of my pictures. Go to Save Picture As, and that was the check. I'll make sure, unfortunately it doesn't save that folder for me when I'm saving these. Make sure I get to the right one and save it again. And here's the star. We'll pretend like I've saved all the files to this new folder, so we can go ahead. If you have a Mac, you'll want to use iPhoto to edit your pictures. We're working on a PC, so we'll use Microsoft Office Picture Manager for this. To get there, go to the Start menu on your screen, click on All Programs, click on Microsoft Office, then click on Microsoft Office Tools, and click on Microsoft Office Picture Manager. After I've opened the Office 2010 Picture Manager, it automatically goes usually to the file called My Pictures. I can either double click on the My Pictures or click on this plus at the left, and it gives me the list, and here's my quiz pictures. So here's the pictures that I want to use. Now I'm going to grab this and hit this against the side. When I have my arrow at the top and hit it against the side of the screen, it gives me that nice half screen. Now when I want to play with this, I'm going to open this up in the Office program, and if I want to edit, I either go to Edit Pictures here, or there's sometimes an Edit Pictures on this side. Either one will bring up the list of things that I can do, and the one that I want to do right now is resize or make it smaller. Now the way that I did this, the way that I think about it a lot of times, is I look at the size and I think, okay, I really want it about this size here, so I'm going to look and say, okay, so here's about 50% of it. If I go back up there, here's about 25%. That's about the size I want. So then I can go over here and I can click on percentage of the original and change it to 25%, and it shows me what the new size is in pixels. Most of your programs use pixels to determine size. Click OK, and then what I do, because you can't tell from here how big it really is, I copy it and I come back in here in this document and get a cursor up and paste it in and see if that's about the size I want. If it is, then I sit and I've clicked on OK, then I'm OK, and I can click on Save, and it will save it over the original file. So if I want to go back into my WP clipart file and get this big one, I can get it there, or I can go to Quiz Pictures and get the smaller one without having to worry about at the end accidentally copying over my original. Okay, now I'm going to go up here to the thumbnail view up at the top, and it's going to show me all the pictures in the file. The next one I'm going to do is the check mark. So I'm going to scroll up here and see, well, that's not really too bad. I want it to be, just come down maybe about this much, so that's probably about 75% of what it is. And I can click on 75 percentage, and I can either use the up or down arrows and then click on 75 and say OK, and then I'm going to copy it and see what it looks like when it's in here. Paste. Oh, that's okay. That's actually about 50% though, isn't it? Looks like. Okay, but that's okay. So I'm going to tell this one, go ahead and save it. Okay. Now I'm going to go back up to the thumbnail, and I'm going to get this cute little star next. Now that one over here on the left, I really want it to be quite a bit smaller, but I want to show you that there's another way of doing this. We can use predefined widths and heights, which these, if you click on the little arrow there, the drop down will show you the different sizes, and these are common sizes that are used in documents, web pages, emails. If I go to email small, that's 160 pixels by 160, and I click on OK, and it takes it down. Well, that's not really as small as I wanted it. I can use the back arrow up here, or the Control Z to take it back. And I'm going to say, let's take it down to 50%. See if that's good enough. Say okay. Oh, that's much better, I think. Again, though, I'm going to copy it and paste it over here and see if I like it. I'll do it up here at the top. Oh yes, that's much better. Okay. And then I'm going to click Save. Now that has saved it into that quiz pictures so that I'm not saving it over my original. Go back up to the thumbnail. Let's get this question mark. Now you can also use a custom height and width, but you're going to have to figure if you want to keep the same aspect ratio so that it looks the same, you have to do some figuring. So let's say 100 by 70. There I go. So I just kind of figured it at 10%. Let's see if that's big enough. Copy. Paste that one in. Whoops. There we go. Oh yeah, that's about the right size, isn't it? That was pretty good. And save. Now this last picture, the one of the wetlands, I'm going to leave that one the same because I'm thinking this is something that I want the students to see a lot of detail in. Maybe we're going to write about the wetlands, or maybe they have to come up with some significant observations about it in order to answer the questions. So I'm going to leave that one just the size that it is. When you're all finished and you exit out, the program's going to ask if you want to keep all the extra data in the clipboard. I usually just click on no, so we don't have a lot of extra memory being used up. If there's any files that you didn't get saved, it's going to give you a message like it did for this star here that it didn't get saved. Since we're saving these in a separate folder, we can go ahead and click yes. Since I had the folder opened up behind the picture manager, you can see all my new little pictures sitting up there. You won't always see that. Now we're ready to go on. Now that our pictures are prepared, we can move on to working in the template itself. One of the things we want to do is open up a separate Word document that we can have the pictures in so that we can copy them and paste them into the template. We also want to make sure that we always put the cursor at the end of the question, not the answers, but the question that you want the picture to be in. The last picture that was copied out of the Word document will be the picture that goes into the template. The nice thing with having our Word document over here on the left in a half screen and our quiz pictures picture directory over here on the right is that I can actually pull those pictures right over without having to go through the insert command on Word, and see how they are all now in the size that we requested because we saved them in those smaller sizes. Now I'm going to close that out because I don't need it anymore, and I am going to go to File, Open, and go to my example 2 and open it up. And again, I'm going to grab it, and if it wasn't already the correct size, I can pull it clear over and hit the side, and that'll resize it to that half size. Now the first thing I want to do, since I opened up my example, as my template is do a save as and give it a name. Picture questions. We'll just do quest. There we go. And I want to give it a category. So I'm going to click up here and do the first half. Picture questions, and then I'm going to give it a topic. I'm going to click on the other side of the slash and give it a name, and we'll call this the video, so I know that these questions came out of the video. Then I'm going to click down below in the document. So I'm going to try multiple choice first, and I'm going to say this is a picture of, and then hit enter and say a period, exclamation mark, question mark, quotation mark. And just like I have done before, I'm going to go up here and use the mark as true false and change it to the correct one, and then go down here to the correct answer. Whoops, I hit the wrong one. Sorry. And hit the true false. And that makes it the correct answer for me. So of course, I want to put my question mark in that picture. I'm going to go over to the left and click on it till I make sure that it is actually selected, because it has this box with the circles and the squares on it. And I'm going to right click, hit copy. Then I'm going to come over here at the very end of the question, not one of the answers, at the question. And then I'm going to go up here to paste image. And there it is. Now I can go to my last answer, hit enter twice, and I'm ready for the next question. The next question we're going to try is a true false statement. Here's a true, and I'm going to say this star is smiling. I know that's not a college question, but we'll use it anyway. I'm going to go over, make sure it's selected, copy, and paste an image. I don't have to put anything else in there because it automatically will put in the true false for the question. Next question. A false statement would be the same, look the same, except it's red. And since I've just got that other star, I can use the same one again to paste the image in. Next, we're going to try a matching question up here at the top. Match okay. Do matching terms and definitions. I'm just going to type in garbage because I don't want this to take too much time. And then I want to click outside of that to end it. I'm going to go back up to the top, click at the end of the question, and I think for this one I'm just going to put my check mark at the top. Right click, copy, click over here and go to paste image, and there we go. Let's do a numerical one. Let's say, how many stars are there? And I'm going to give it a 4. Go back to the top. I'm going to copy my star, copy, go back here, and I'm going to hit paste image. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to click on the other side because I want these all in a row. Now I'm going to make this window large because I can't see all the way over on the end of my ribbon from here. So I'm going to use the maximize. I'm going to check my layout. And it says everything is okay. Remember to be patient here because sometimes it takes longer with these pictures. There's a lot of coding to do. And then I'm going to click export to XML after I get the OK. And remember, I want to change this name. Oops, Quest 1. That's my XML document. And there I go. I am ready to upload my pictures into my question bank and then put them in a quiz. If you have any problems with this process, be sure and give me a call.